Audience, please rise and graduates remain standing for the presentation of colors and singing of the national anthem by Ariel Corinne McGuire, the Tom C. Clark Vocal Music Program.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Welcome everyone to the Tom C. Clark High School Class of 2022 graduation. I'm Marcus Adame, President of the Student Council. I would like to thank everyone in attendance today for supporting the future of our generation. Today, we will be celebrating many accomplishments from this graduating class. Let's take a moment to reflect on the educational journey and hardships this graduating class has endured. As all these seniors know, and I'm pretty sure parents know, these students haven't had a typical four-year high school experience. These seniors have had to not only persist through a year and a half of virtual or hybrid learning, but adapt, overcome, and excel upon their return to normal circumstances. The skills that this year's class was forced to learn through adaptation have molded these students into the best versions of themselves as they move forward on in life. It is an honor to be speaking here today and introduce this year's salutatorian, who will be pursuing his higher education at the University of Texas at Austin while studying biology. Please give a highly deserving acknowledgement and attention to the Tom C. Clark High School 2022 salutatorian, Bill Gang.
Thank you for that introduction. Good afternoon, class of 2022. And to all the parents, teachers, faculty, and staff, I thank you for taking the time out of your life to come accompany us on our special day. Now, when I was given this opportunity by our principal, Mr. Zimmerman, I was very excited. But honestly, I had no clue what to write about. So I searched up for some examples on YouTube, and because I've obviously never written a speech like this before. But you know what they say, there's a first for everything. So the first thing I discovered was the fact that I had to give special thanks to certain people who helped me achieve this position today. So I'd like to begin with thanking my parents for teaching me the discipline it takes towards education. I would thank my friends for reminding me that I'm technically the first to lose. I would like to thank Broadway Daily Breads for keeping me fed all 4 years, and for being the #1 economic example in Mr. Player's economic class. I would like to thank Mr. Pedroza for teaching me and losing to me in chess, also for teaching me algebra. I would like to thank Mr. Moreno, our physics teachers, for giving me a very important life lesson that if I'm ever falling out of a plane, I could calculate the velocity at which I hit the ground using the third kinematic equation. Air resistance is negligible. Oh, and shout out to his Quantum Coffee brand as well. I'd like to thank Mr. Pumphrey for dealing with my questionable and ridiculous projects from the start to end. If you were in that class, you will know what I'm talking about. I'd like to thank Ms. Johnson for reminding me that if I ever get in trouble, I have the right to remain silent. And especially, I'd like to thank Mr. Lee for allowing me to participate in the Junior Classical League, where I can make some of my closest friends today. And finally, I'd like to thank Mr. Yarborough for reminding us why Fridays are the best days. And for all the teachers I left out because of the time, I thank you all. Okay, I know this may have taken a little bit too long, but I can't stress the importance that these teachers had over my life. Actually, I can't stress the importance that these teachers had over all of our lives. I am merely one in the hundreds of students that these teachers have taught over these years. So I'd like to take this time from my speech so we could give a round of applause to all the teachers that took their careers to foster our future. Now, the next step for introduction is to have a broad topic to be the theme of my speech. I know this may be a little cliche, but I believe that everyone had felt that in their life they have been dealt with a bad hand. I think that we've all been in this position before, struggling in life, not knowing what to do, and at the end of the day, we simply blame some uncontrollable force in our life. However, life isn't like a game of poker. Sure, there are gambles and taking huge chances, but we are never stuck with the same pair of cards for the rest of our life. From the start of high school, our freshman year, we got our first hand. Let's say an offsuit 2 and a 7. If you played poker before, I know you have, you might just folded. Our middle school's grades and behavior did not place us in the optimal position for high school. We may feel we lack what others have. However, in life, we're not stuck with the same hand. We didn't randomly choose what extracurriculars we wanted to participate in, or we didn't choose what classes to take. We decided with our own free will to test ourselves with AP Human Geography, or to try out for the basketball team. By the way, nice job this year. Or join JR2C, or even participate in chess club. Everything that we achieved in our freshman year was decided by our own choices. We decided what friends to make, what clubs to join, and how much we should study. And at the end of the years, we managed to change our hands. As we progress into sophomore year, where we feel mature, yet we are still at the start of high school, I, for one, began to feel trapped by our accomplishments from our freshman year, or lack thereof. We continue to take AP classes because of the overwhelming pressure of our GPAs. Man, I'm gonna be honest here, I took so many AP classes that I might show up on a TLC show soon, My Strange Addictions to AP classes. All right, back on topic. Many classes forcing us down in a downward spiral of sacrificing our personal time and sleep. You may feel trapped by the choices you've made in freshman year, but as I stated before, you could always change. Some people decide to sacrifice some extra hundreds to spend it with our friends. Others decided instead of studying for 1 hour, we spend it with our families. On the opposite end of the spectrum, some people could have fixed their schedule to include more time to study for better grades. Nevertheless, we are all capable of changing our ways in order to improve our lives. But at the very peak of this year, it was cut short due to the pandemic. Honestly, at first I celebrated. There was no school, all right? But as I later learned, the pandemic was a period of isolation. I'm sure that some people enjoyed junior year, but I think the vast majority of us wish to be together in person, despite all the drama there is. Our opportunity to change our hands was pulled away from us. But finally, we arrived at senior year. It was a long and arduous journey, but we finally made it. Now, senior year, I personally took it upon myself to make all the memories that were stolen from me during junior and sophomore year. And I could tell many of y'all did the same. This is the final moment in our high school careers to change ourselves for the better. We've participated in more school events. Shout out to Jacob Hasida, our class president, for running so many school events for us. Also, shout out for Afrin for being the most easily being the most involved student at our school. No joke, I swear he has a twin. He is somehow in every single one of our organizations and at every single meeting. This year, we've studied and played harder than before. I've seen countless hours of hard work placed by all of y'all this year. All of our athletic teams performed excellently. As a side note, I'd like to congratulate all of our D1 students this year, and I'd like to give my biggest congratulations to them. I will see you in a 2K game soon. Some of us did both. For instance, Will Scares carried us so much this year, from our Latin academic competitions to the athletics, that he broke his back. No joke, I hope his back does get better. All of us enjoyed every last moment of our final year together. After college admissions, we created the best possible hands for ourselves. Some of us are going to UT, some of us are going to A&M, others Tech. Some of us are even going out of state to Maine and Florida. Hey, someone's even going out of this country to Spain. However, I know some of y'all are still disappointed. Some of us weren't able to get into our dream colleges. Some of us are still stuck in limbo, not knowing what to do with our lives. But like I stated before, life isn't like a game of poker. You can always change your hand with your own free will and the help of your friends, because you only know what you know. So I wish for everyone to think of tonight not as the end, but as a chance to change for a new beginning. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Galp. I'm the Vice President of Clark High School's chapter of the National Honor Society, and at this time I would like to welcome our stage guests. Deputy Superintendent Dr. Janice Jordan, Deputy Superintendent Ray Galindo, Board President Karen Freeman, Board Vice President Gerald B. Lopez, Trustee Robert Blunt, Trustee Melissa Chumbley, Trustee Dr. Carol Harrell, and Trustee Corinne Saldana. We truly thank you all for your tireless support of the Northside School District and of Clark High School. Our other stage guests include Steve Zimmerman, Principal, Melinda Clark, Academic Dean, Student Council President Marcos Adame, Senior Class President Jacob Hasida, Bill Gang, Salutatorian, and Ian Pumphrey, Valedictorian. Welcome, graduates, family, loved ones, faculty, and staff. For 4 years, I have attended Clark High School and have greatly enjoyed learning, growing, and making memories in this community. To honor those who have supported me through this journey, I would like to say a quick and heartfelt thank you. Thank you to my loving family, encouraging friends, and hardworking teachers for cultivating a healthy environment in which I have had the ability to flourish these past 4 years. You all are the reason I am still standing here today, striving to secure even my most ambitious dreams. As each of us sit here celebrating this grand accomplishment and all we have endured to get to this point, I know at times it wasn't as easy to feel the sense of achievement that we feel in this moment. Each day we have been challenged to wade through the sea of pressure that school, extracurriculars, work, sports, and other time-consuming activities create. In times when this pressure was most powerful, times I spent most overwhelmed by the chaos of high school life, and just life in general, there was one person I knew I could always turn to. Today, I have the honor of introducing that person to you, your Clark High School Class of 2022 valedictorian, Ian Pumphrey. In presenting to you this year's valedictorian, I would like to share a memory of him that always makes me smile. One particular Monday, towards the end of the first semester of our senior year, Ian and I were sharing our complaints and nerves about the laborious week ahead, a frequent exchange. Midterms, end of semester projects, and the holidays were right around the corner, and like most of you sitting here today, the two of us dreaded the tiresome week set out before us. That Monday, as I sat in Ian's driveway, he looked over at me from the passenger seat, noticing the worried look on my face. I explained how stressed I was about the endless pile of work crammed into my backpack. I could tell he felt the same, but something in his demeanor stood out. He seemed so annoyingly at peace. In a calm tone, he turned to me and said, "Look, I'm just trying to enjoy the time we have. We've come so far and worked so hard, and now comes the even harder part of making the decision to let it all soak in." Ian's strength lies in the humble tenacity of his words. Many times he has shared similar sentiments that serve to remind us that there will always be something to worry about. Even he himself feels this worry at times. Yet, he taught me that the time we spend obsessed with perfection is time lost to discovering beauty and surrendering to the disorder that surrounds us. Ian truly exemplifies this liberating approach to life. He embodies what it means to find freedom and letting go of what we cannot control. During this transformational period, as we graduate and merge into the adult world, some of you may be overcome with the urge to grasp for control. This anxious feeling reminds me of yet another encouraging quote from your valedictorian himself. Just a few weeks ago, there we were again, sitting in Ian's driveway, now reflecting on the year behind us. That stressful Monday evening conversation felt so distant, yet so close, and the two of us shared in our disbelief that soon everything would come to an end. Both of us were nervous about going from familiar high school life to the unknown future. Maybe, like me, you still have not fully come to terms with saying goodbye to childhood, to friends, to teachers, or high school life, even though the day of parting is here. In response to my concerns about the future, Ian turned to me and with a reassuring stillness in his voice said, "It takes much more effort to let go of the uncontrollable, but I believe we'll be better for that." As you continue to celebrate today, remember that the bittersweet goodbyes are only the preface to exciting new hellos. I'm delighted to congratulate all of you on how far you've come, and even more elated to see every single person here continue to grow, achieve, and mature. Thank you, and now without further ado, I am overjoyed to welcome to the podium your Clark High School Class of 2022 valedictorian, Ian Pumphrey.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, Clark graduates, distinguished guests, parents, faculty, and everyone else here today to celebrate this milestone. This day, our high school graduation, will be one of the most memorable of our lives and an achievement that all here in attendance should be proud of. And it is my utmost honor to deliver today the Class of 22's valedictorian address. To begin, we should thank the teachers in our lives. From the academic core to electives and trades, we all owe an enormous thanks to the educators we've had the honor of learning from. They have inspired us to continue seeking knowledge and higher scholarship, challenging us to be the best students we can be. Additionally, we should thank the friends we've made along the way during our high school experience, the relationships we built on campus that have helped us to persevere through the difficult times and appreciate the good ones. Just as essential, we should thank the greatest teachers in our lives, our parents and parental figures. Parents, you all have made enormous sacrifices to help us arrive at this moment. From car rides from here to there, putting food on the table, teaching us how to drive, and more than anything, consistently supporting us in the ways we can see and in the many ways we can't. Your sacrifices have not gone unnoticed. To all the parents in attendance watching your sons and daughters graduate today, you should share in the great pride we all feel in this moment. This accomplishment was not just the work of one student, but the work of a family. And not just one family, but the many generations of families, each with their own story. So today, I'd like to tell you one small part of my story. One of the earliest memories I have from my childhood is a scene from High School Musical 3. Every summer, my family would take these road trips to Colorado, and my parents kept many DVDs in my mom's minivan to keep my sister and I quiet and occupied. Well, on one particular trip, the movie chosen was the final movie in the High School Musical saga. At the end of the movie, our heroic protagonist, Troy Bolton, gives this glorious, albeit corny, graduation speech to his fellow graduates, concluding the past 4 years' wins, losses, ups and downs with the line, "We're all in this together." 5-year-old me wanted so badly to someday share in that same moment with my classmates, to be all in this together. Not surprisingly, I would later discover that real high school wasn't cafeterias breaking into choreographed song and dance, or late-night serenades. But you see, before attending Clark, I practically grew up on campus, running up and down the halls of A building every day of the first 10 years of my life. When I started my freshman year, however, the comfort of the campus had vanished. Everything was pressure and everyone was a stranger. I no longer thought of Clark as mom and dad's workplace. It was now my workplace. I was introduced to a world of constant anxiety where Grade Pro was always open on my phone, and academic success was based upon a full commitment to school, sacrificing various parts of your life for scholarly achievement. Many of us now know that that never got easier, but we did learn how to handle it better. By the end of my first year at Clark, I realized that hardship and sacrifice is never exclusive. I am not the only one who is graduating today. We all did this. We all got here. Although it may seem like a routine matter to some of you, to be here is a tremendous feat. Ernest Hemingway once said, "The first and final thing you have to do in this world is to last it and not be smashed by it." We have endured through many obstacles, with heart and grit, finding joy through hard times, our toughest battles leading to the strongest victories. You may not believe that you're included here, that your experience is just too different from the people I seem to be talking about. But think about this. What did it take to get you here? Not just driving to the Alamo Dome or your cap and gown order. I mean the big picture stuff. Really think about all of the things that got us to now. The memories, late nights and early mornings, fun times and sad times, the people, friends and family in your life who have seen you grow and mature, who've been there through the hardship. The changes throughout our high school years, a worldwide pandemic, remote learning, a record-breaking snowstorm, and all the personal hardships, unique things we have all faced and overcome, as well as the things we still go through. You see, in us all, we have a story, a journey we have all taken. That story is still being written. Being a part of the Clark newspaper throughout my 4 years, I've had the pleasure of hearing Clark's many stories. Refugees escaping the Taliban in Afghanistan, 17-year-olds writing, producing, and performing full-fledged albums, athletes passionately making their way to state competitions. The class sitting in front of me is immensely diverse, and all their stories uniquely fascinating. We all have a story to tell, to look back on, and to gain wisdom from, and we all could use some wisdom from each other's stories, which is exactly why this shared milestone today is so valuable. We have learned together, endured together. We might not have experienced the same challenges, but we all faced challenges nonetheless. Some of us will go off into college or into the military service. Some will enter the workforce and pursue a career right out of high school. Some will go into post-secondary training. Some will take a gap year. And others have their own distinct journey to take, regardless of what is next, regardless of what our future holds. Remember your story. And remember that the people around you have one as well. So today I gave you this challenge. Be kind. All of us and all of our stories have value, even if it is hard at times to see that value. It is easy to get lost in the urgency of our modern world and the speed at which this generation runs. So don't be afraid to slow it down. Your story won't always need to keep the same pace. And our stories aren't over. The challenges don't end here, but that's nothing to be afraid of. Challenges aren't just obstacles to overcome. They're opportunities for growth. They become necessary parts of our own personal stories. As we end this Clark chapter of our journey, I feel extremely blessed because I get to look out at our senior class and see hundreds upon hundreds of stories in front of me, knowing that each and every one of you will venture to great places, do great things, and show the world the power of your growth. Maya Angelou once said that there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Project your story onto the world. Continue listening to and learning from others. A story untold is a story unfulfilled. Before we walk out of those stadium doors and begin this new uncertain chapter of our lives, I want to conclude with some reassurance. Wherever you're at, you're in the right place because every part of your story has a purpose and you'll always be the one writing it. So ask yourself today, where does your story go?
Thank you, Ian. Our superintendent and the Board of Trustees continue to challenge our schools to provide educational excellence. Today, 2 students represent the end result of this challenge. To honor the valedictorian and salutatorian of Tom C. Clark High School, the school board would like to present each of them with a special medallion. Our salutatorian's overall grade point average is 104.52. He will be attending the University of Texas at Austin, where he will be majoring in biology. Presenting the medallion will be Corrine Saldana. May I present to you the salutatorian of the class of 2022, Bill Gang. Bill's parents are Gui Yan Lu and Hui Gang, and we also have his sister, Shi Yi Gang. Would you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations. We are proud of Bill and his accomplishments. Our valedictorian has an overall grade point average of 104.78. He will be attending Columbia University and majoring in political science. Presenting the medallion will be Dr. Carol Harrell. May I present to you the valedictorian of the class of 2022, Ian Pumphrey. Ian's parents are Mr. Kevin Pumphrey and Miss Karen Pumphrey, and also we have his sister Elise Pumphrey here. Will you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations. We are proud of Ian and his many accomplishments as well. Today we celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, the actualization of goals attained, and successes achieved. Before I present the class of 2022 to Dr. Jordan for acceptance, I would like to say a word of thanks to our families and also to the graduates of Clark, Texas. To our families, thank you for making Clark, Texas your home and for allowing us to be a part of your child's educational experience. It has been our pleasure to work alongside you as we arrive at this very special day together. To the graduating class of 2022, some of you have been at Clark for a single year, and some for 4 years. Regardless of the amount of time you spent at Clark, Texas, we thank you for representing us with pride, class, and distinction. You have demonstrated excellence as a Clark Cougar. Although your path may not have always been an easy or straight one, you have arrived here today as a graduate. Whichever path you traveled to reach today, one thing is certain: you are now ready to carve your own way in the world. For you see, in this world there are 3 types of people: There are those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wake up every so often and ask, what happened? You are the ones who make things happen. At the height of the pandemic, you have returned to Clark, Texas with a fire and enthusiasm that has not been seen in years. Your passion and joy of being reunited showed in all aspects of student life, from athletics to fine arts, clubs and organizations, and academics. You showed a genuine care and love for each other and for being a Clark Cougar. Congratulations, graduates. Will the class of 2022 please rise? Dr. Jordan, it is with great pride that I certify to you that the seniors of Clark, Texas have met the standards set forth by the Texas Education Agency and Northside Independent School District. Will you please accept the class of 2022 from Tom C. Clark High School?
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman, and good afternoon and welcome to this event that honors our wonderful graduates. To the members of our audience, thank you for all the contributions you have made to the success of the graduates seated here today. Education can't happen without a partnership between the student, family, and school. Graduates, I know that seated in this building are parents, grandparents, teachers, friends who supported you and made a difference in your education. Graduates, we hope that your experience in Northside has been a positive one and that we have treated you with care and professionalism. Everyone in this building and watching from home knows some of the challenges that you've had to overcome to be here today. So whether you've been with us since you were in kindergarten or only the last few months, we wish you the very best as you continue your journey. You deserve to celebrate this accomplishment, and we are all here to celebrate with you. But don't celebrate too long. Always keep your next set of goals in sight. We all hope that the accomplishment we recognize you for today will be part of a long list of accomplishments you have in the future. So, Mr. Zimmerman, it is with great pleasure that I accept this group as graduates of the class of 2022. By the power vested in me by the State Board of Education and on behalf of the Northside Independent School District Board of Trustees, I grant to you all the rights and privileges of a high school diploma. Will the graduates please come forward for the presentation of diplomas and awards?
Receiving the Kluge Scholars Scholarship, Ian Conrad Pumphrey. Bill Dennis Gang. Receiving the NCAA D1 Women's Basketball Athletic Scholarship, Haley Alexis Adams. Receiving the Alamo Bowl Scholarship, Alec Michael Perez. Receiving the Provost Scholarship, Megan Catherine Basile. Receiving the USAA Employee Collegiate Scholarship, Amanda Claire Gaup. Shreya Mary Cantum. Avery Laurel Anson. Receiving the 2021-2022 Clark, Texas PTSA Student Scholarship, Tatiana Kate Flores. Riham Abdullah Abdurrahman. Joseph Matthew Abrego. Receiving the Academics Merit Scholarship, Harley Sky Acuff. Receiving the Presidential Scholarship, Cameron Axum Adams. Receiving the Chrisir Odd Merit Scholarship, Charlie Mariska 80. Andres Ivan Aguilar. Ariana Grace Aguilar. Tagwa Osama Yusuf Ahmed Radwan. Receiving the Raise Me Scholarship, Hadir Al-Asadi. Abigail Erlia Alaquines. Alexander Manuel Alarcon. Alina Mohammed Al-Aswadi. Weston Sergio Alba. Giselle Nicole Alberthal. Ethan Andrew Alcala. Isaiah Santiago Alicia. Receiving the Distinguished Scholarship, Myra Almanza. Samuel Elias Almeida. Jasmine Nicole Almendarez. Nicholas Xavier Almeter. Michal Mahed Al-Mubarak. Layan Ali Al-Karni. Victor Antonio Alvarado. Robert Alexander Alvarez III. Xander Alejandro Alviso Gonzalez. Ethan Amores Ansaldo. Enlisting in the U.S. Navy, receiving the Educational Scholarship, Isaac Alexander Antonio. Jonathan Aureliano. Mia Prisca Armendariz. Saray Elizabeth Arnold. Receiving the Christian Leadership Scholarship, Eddie Alexander Arroyos. Isaiah Nathaniel Arroyos. Sierra Nicole Osenak. Faith Michelle Avery. Aiden Jeremiah Ayala. Jacob Anthony Rivera Ayala. Robert Stephen Bailey. Sean Garrett Baird. Caitlin Michelle Baker. Ignacio Balbuena IV. Galvin Brothers. Dominique Aire Barnes. Christopher Blue Barrera. Jorge Armando Barrera Jr. Ramiro Gabriel Barron Jr. Nathan Taylor Barton. Olivia Lane Barton. Cash Thomas Belknap. Zared Paps Bennett. Tatiana Isabella Bertolino. Calvin Alexander Beshan. Deepak Singh Bathal. Alicia Hallie Blankenship. Receiving the UNT Excellence Eagle Scholarship, Joshua Allen Bohannon. Jaden Elizabeth Brandt. Hannah Ann Braswell. Reese Mitchell Braun. Noah Samuel Brenman. Robert Taylor Brewer. Jesse Ryan Brickley. Jason Christian Ryan Brito. Grace Caroline Buckley. Catalina Angelica Buentello. Receiving the 2021-2022 Nicholas J. Medlock Scholarship, Gwen Margaret de la Cruz Burgos. Anthony Brendan Butcher. Catherine Bialusova. Zachary Ventura Cabral. Benjamin Daniel Calderon. Constance Marie Callahan. Sophia Ann Camarillo. Sonia Ann Camarillo. Eric Brandon Cano. Jacqueline Elizabeth Cantu. Sergio Alejandro Cantu. Isaiah Joseph Carmenides. Dami Savannah Cardenas, receiving the Gateway Academic Scholarship. Eric Cardenas. Jonathan Isaac Cardenas. Samantha Nicole Cardenas. Sarah Michelle Cardenas. Raymond Lee Carter Jr. Tristan Alexander Carl. Receiving a NAIA Men's Football Athletic Scholarship, Ty Carlton. Eric Carrillo. Receiving a Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Ileana Amel Carrillo. Nicholas Robert Carizales. Gabriela Victoria Castillo. Scott Gage Catlett.
Wait till they get to the exit there to say that.
Nicholas Ryan Katzela. Gerardo Ramon Cewarez. Gabriel Antonio Luis Centeno. Receiving the Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Kaylin Saskia Saracero. Callista Trinity Champion. Dylan Page Tavaria. Damon Ethan Chavera. Isaac Matthew Chavez. Marco Zewang Chung. Receiving a full ride appointment to the United States Air Force Academy, Luke Martin Childs. Receiving a Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Alba Raquel Chocron Virgil. Jasmine Chu. Receiving a Rhodes Award, Ethan Christopher Church. Jacob Stone Cipriano. Robert Harley Klein. Brandon Allen Coates. Amani Christian Coleman. Jalen Douglas Coles. Justin Ezekiel Colazo. Madeline Jade Connell. Stephanie Contreras. Marcos Corona. Julian Athen Coronado. Robert Lewis Courtney. Receiving a Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, William Blake Cox. Isabella Christiana Crawford. Leilani Aaliyah Crosswhite. Nathaniel Ray Crow. Eliana Cruz. Riley Michael K.R. Allison Jade Culleton. Receiving a Brigham Young Scholarship, Camilla Rosalind Cummings. Receiving a Presidential Merit Scholarship, J.C. K. Dady. Jad Michael Dandan. Ann Susan Jemima Daniel Mathuram. Jasmine Anissa Davis. Enlisting in the U.S. Navy, receiving an educational scholarship, Imani Lee de la Garza. Adrian Devon de la Vega. Esmeralda Marie de Leon. Victoria Marie de Leon. Vincent Michael de Leon. Kelsey Riley Diarcos. John Jesus Diaz Cortez. Elizabeth Ann Diaz. Mia Cameron Diaz. Mary Elizabeth Dilger. Receiving a men's football athletics scholarship, Josiah Amon Douglas. Elena Rehan Duarte. Liliana Teresa Dudley. Riley William Dewar. Hannah Faye Dvorkin. Jad Hannah Adelby. Receiving a NJCAA D1 Men's Baseball Athletic Scholarship, Cody Michael Edwards. Receiving a Presidential Scholarship, Bailey Rianne Eichelbaum. Receiving a Be Somebody, Beth Pisano Memorial Scholarship, Hala Garcia El Jabshe. Hannah Garcia El Jabshe. Receiving the Frederick Douglass Scholarship, Sophia Nicole Elenis. Arthur Dane Elliott. Andrew McCord Ellis. Receiving a D1 Men's Golf Athletic Scholarship, Garrett Lowell Endicott. Nevia Arlette Esparza. Stephanie Ann Espinoza. Solana Mia Exconde. Adavan Ezelon. Receiving a Texas State Achievement Scholarship, Madeline Page Falloon. Abdelrahman Adel Mohamed Farah. Kendall Farias. Cole Howard Farrell. Receiving a Distinguished Scholarship, Alexandra Ann Fassenmeyer. Receiving a Clark, Texas Athletic Booster Club scholarship, Avery Marielle Fox. Receiving a NCAA D1 Women's Softball Athletic Scholarship, Erica Julia Felices. Luis Heraldo Fernandez. Lucia Figueroa. Gavin Reese Fletchner. Jason Guy Flores. Skylar Aaliyah Flores. Christopher Frias. Joseph Michael Friedberg. Faith McKenna Fry. Receiving a Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Isabel Ariana Fuentes. Megan Alexine Galindo. Humberto Gallegos III. Cassandra Galvan. Kira Jade Galvez.
Adriana Elizabeth Garanzuay. Receiving an Impact Scholarship, Emily Rose Garcia Buentello. Alfredo G. Garcia II. Cristian August Garcia. Cristian Michael Garcia. Gabriel Nathan Garcia. Mallory Grace Garcia. Rebecca Lynn Garcia. Ty Alejandro Garcia. Victor Andres Garcia. Cameron Elizabeth Garza. Ilana Renee Garza. Jace Ian Garza. Logan May Garza. Mark Joel Garza. Gage Bradford Gavigan. Camila Gaitan. Daniela Nicole Garib. Devin Tyler Glorioso. Alyssa Jade Gomez. Brandon Gomez. Receiving the Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Natalia Irene Gomez. Ethan Frank Gonsalves. Gavin Rain Gonzalez. Orestes David Gonzalez Morales Jr. Jennifer Idaly Gonzalez Perez. Receiving the Dean's Scholarship, Carlos Marco Hernandez Gonzalez. Christian Ogden Gonzalez. Emily Lorraine Gonzalez. Gabriela Raquel Gonzalez. Madison Amaris Gonzalez. Osvaldo Goitia. Alejandro Granados. Jack Ryan Green. Jaslyn Leilani Gresham. Charlotte May Grube. Stephen Paul Wajardo. Cameron Joseph Guevara. Lázaro Ernesto Golín Rodriguez. Tyreek Khalif Gunthorpe. Mayra Gabriela Gutierrez. Stephen Adrian Gutierrez. Kristen Nicole Haga. Jacob Michael Hallam. Nicole Marie Hamilton. Receiving the Women's Volleyball Athletic Scholarship NCAA D2, Kendall Kaysen Harrington. Receiving the Texas State Achievement Scholarship, Rebecca Lynn Hart. Awez Abdul Aziz Hashmi. Maria Wathik Hassoun. Sonette Joella Hernandez. Adolfo Leonardo Hernandez Villanueva. Angelina Pearl Hernandez. Eva Angelina Hernandez. Faith Hernandez. Isabela Patricia Hernandez. Joe Jonathan Hernandez. Johnny Colunga Hernandez. Mia Alexandra Hernandez. Victoria Renee Hernandez. America Alicia Herrera. Kanan Scott Hine. Emily Lauren Height. Kiana Zena Hill. Ashley Elizabeth Holden. Receiving the Texas State Achievement Scholarship, Catherine Elizabeth Holtzinger. Hannah Avery Howard. Boyd Weston Hubbard. Receiving the Sower Award, Anna Catherine Hudson. Alec Samuel Huerta. Syed Hashir Hussein. Alexander Matthew Hyun. Gerardo Ibarra Jr. Receiving the Academic Excellence Award, Aruba Iqbal. Rida Iqbal. Crystal Nicole Irving. Aiden Hall Jacobin. Francisco Rene Jaques. Zion Elijah Jewell. Julia Elanis Jimenez. Ethan Alexander Johansson. Abigail Patricia Johnson. Grace Noreen Johnson. Kaija Brianna Johnson. Shakima Camille Jones. Alejandro Juarez. Angelina Nicole Juarez. George David Juarez. Receiving the Academic Excellence Scholarship, Pujastrinivas Kalikiri. Connor Lynn Karam. Arsalan Katane. Haley Marie Kyle. Marsaga Antonio Camis. Ahmed Abdul Azim Khan. Receiving the Provost Scholarship, Zura Khan. Sami Khan. Tulsi Hament Kushal. Jesse Peter Mungai Kimani. Alex Klein. John Paul Cook. Receiving the SMU Provost Scholarship, Luke Taylor Kolbinski. Receiving the Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Kyle Bernard Kotara. Trevor Allen Kutzer. Receiving the Bulldog Scholarship, William Edmund Krebs. Carlos Curi. Brendan Kai Kyung. Benjamin Blocker Lamb. Isaac Philip Lanado. Carissa Nicole Lanford. Receiving the Achievement Scholarship, Colin Michael Langston. Mauricio Lara. Natalie Elizabeth Lashway. Abigail Lauren Lassiter. Daniel Patrick Andrew Lawler. Receiving the 2022 to 2023 Men's Athletic Baseball NJCAA Scholarship D1 Full Ride, Carson Caraway Laws. Receiving the Texas Excellence Scholarship, Ashley Lee. Fernando Diego Leal. Laura Leon Sotela. Daniel Blake Lewandowski. Faith Marie Lewis. Hope Alexandria Lewis. Charlotte F. Libby. Receiving the Texas State Merit Scholarship, Emma Renee Lively. Ashley Marie Logan. Receiving the Tom C. Clark High School Choir Scholarship, Noah Santiago Longoria. Ethan Roy Loomis. Allison Porter Lopez. Jasmine Christina Marie Lopez. Receiving the Women's Golf Athletics Scholarship, NAIA D1, Caitlin Nicole Lopez. Receiving the 2021 to 2022 OCI Scholarship, Cassandra Nicole Lopez. Receiving the Academic Excellence Scholarship, Kate Olivia Lopez. Kennedy Joe Belen Lopez. Peyton Ellis Lewis. Jason Patrick Love. Maria Jose Lozano Gonzalez. Abram Mason Lyman. Diego Octavio Macias Esplana. Carter Jeffrey McGadigan. Joseph Grant Mahoney. Evely Maldonado. Timothy Alexander Mancias. Alejandro Manzano. Owen Brighton Maples. Brianna Eva Marchiori. Receiving the Academic Charter Scholarship, Rachel Kathleen Marquis. Aiden Joseph Marshall. Receiving the 2021 to 2022 USAA Employees Collegiate Scholarship, Ariana Marie Martinez. Ash Jordan Martinez. Brooklyn Renee Martinez. Joaquin Diego Martinez. Juan Martinez III. Juan David Martinez. Ramiro David Martinez. Starla Josea Martinez. Receiving the Men's Basketball Athletic Scholarship D1, Jordan Anthony Mason. Christian Mata. Ramir Ali Matis. Malalai Mayel. Gavin William McCarty. Receiving the Catherine Lealtad Scholarship, Ariel Corín Guadalupe Beltran McGuire. Marin Elise McMillan. Receiving the TCU Purple and White Scholarship, Jones Thompson McNamara. John Paul Medrano. Javier Melendez. Receiving the Dean's Excellence Scholarship, Kayla Renee Melanson. Anthony Javier Mendez. Receiving the Provost Scholarship, Anthony Zachary Mendez. Michael Frank Mendez. Jorge Alejandro Mendoza Hernandez II. Alejandro Miguel Mendoza. Receiving the Texas State Merit Scholarship, Isabel Salma Mendoza. Mia Gianna Jolie Mendoza. Jonathan Michael Metzger. Luis Emilio Mesa. Sydney Ann Milburn. Eric Michael Miller. Receiving the 2022 Texas Student Housing Scholarship, Dev Bharatbhai Mistry. Receiving the Distinguished Scholarships, Michael James Monkhouse Jr. Farah Mohammed II. Matthew Rene Montalvo. Gunnar Jaime Montes. Daniel Augustine Moore. Jake Matthew Morales. Receiving the Academic Excellence Scholarship, Michaelan Marie Morales. Michael Adam Morales Jr. Receiving the OLLU Presidential Excellence Scholarship, Alexis Renee Moreno. Karina Morin. Lucy Ann Morley. Brianna Irene Morton. Receiving the Humana Foundation Scholarship, Gianni Aljane Mosef. Inji Mohammed Regab Matawi. Jana Amira Muso. Chloe Ann Murphy. Oh, God. Christopher Murphy. Receiving the Texas Excellence Award, Numan Musharraf. Namir Ali Namir. Receiving the 2021 to 2022 Jack C. Jordan Scholarship, Micah Joel Nash. Alejandro Félix Nava Estrada. Roberto Felipe Navarijo. Emily Hayderi Najad. Andre Y. Nguyen. Receiving the Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Matthew Nguyen. Michael Tran Nguyen. Tien Sky Nguyen. Jaden Michael Nichols. Jules Esteban Nofchesi.
Receiving the Dr. Robert L. Clinton Memorial Scholarship, Natalie Marie Noriega. John Nune. Parsa Nozad. Sophia Jo Nuno. Receiving the Women's Soccer Athletic Scholarship, NCAA Division I, Emma Lynn Nyland. Kelton Cole O'Donnell. Raimundo Ramiro Obregon. Sydney Sullivan Ochoa. Dominic Olguin Jr. Alyssa Desiree Ordaz. Paulina Orozco. Jose Luis Ortega Lopez. Receiving the Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Sofia Osporne Maiquez. Joel Alejandro Pais. Isabella Mia Palacios. Alejandro Elias Paredes. Storm Forest Park. Kaimani Marley Polino. Cole Aston Payne. Christian Brandon Penn. Receiving the Academic Merit Scholarship, Hugo Emiliano Benuelas. Christopher Brandon Peppers. Diego Bettis Bettis. Aldri Jadiel Bettis. Dominic Sebastian Bettis. Erin Elizabeth Bettis. Gabriela Bettis. Manuel Jose Bettis. Receiving the 2021-2022 Emma Freeman Memorial Scholarship, Vincent Miguel Bettis. Delaney Plata. Receiving the Academic Excellence Scholarship, Annabelle Grace Podmore. Colin James Poitevin. Ashley Melody Portillo. David Kyle Potter. Receiving the Trustees Scholarship, Amrutha Varshini Sarma Praturi. Receiving the Our Lady of the Lake University Achievement Scholarship, Jeba Quay. Damian Alexander Quevedo. Amanda Rianne Quintanilla. Garrett Douglas Rackley. Receiving the Distinguished Presidential Scholarship, Afrin Rajendra. Camila Francesca Ramirez. Daniel Domingo Ramirez. Receiving the Presidential Scholarship, Darius Anthony Ramirez. Dylan Jaciel Ramirez. Gabriel Manuel Ramirez. Kenya D'Angela Ramirez. Jimena Montañez Ramirez. Gabriel Edward Ramos. Receiving the Academic Excellence Scholarship, Mohita Ravi Kumar. Ethan Bryant Rayfield. Melissa Marie Rains. Sabah Razak. Jad Reda. Ethan Alexander Reed. Noah Resendez. Hannah Morgan Reyes. John Alexander Reyes. Receiving the Dean's Scholarship, Brooke Elizabeth Reyna. Receiving the Provost Scholarship, Jennifer Nicole Reyna. Jaden Ethaniel Rick. Paulina Rios Garcia. Natalie Taylor Rios. Receiving the Gateway Academic Scholarship, Mackenzie Marie Rippey. Receiving the Kiewit Scholarship, Antonia Francisca Riquelme Searovich. Elliot Rivera. Receiving the 2021-2022 Avid Scholarship, Jazelyn Renee Rivera. Receiving an enlistment into the United States Navy Educational Scholarship, Kayla Grace Rivera. Rita Stephanie Rivera. Sam Rivera. Receiving the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Athletic Scholarship, Aaliyah Christine Robertson. Miriam Tess Roberts. Jaden Destiny Robledo. Sarah Viviana Rodriguez Vasquez. Alexander Rodriguez. Eliza Suzanne Rodriguez. Francisco Andre Rodriguez. Vanessa Marisol Rodriguez. Carson James Rogers. Receiving an academic award, Essence Nicole Romero. Receiving the Trinity Tiger Award, Joshua Henry Rosenberg. Receiving the Raise.me Scholarship, Angel Fabian Rubio. Receiving the Gateway Academic Scholarship, Evangelina Regina Ruiz. Nathan Dean Rutledge. Receiving the Distinguished Scholarship, Lacey Yvette Saavedra. Receiving the Raise.me Scholarship, Andres Alfredo Sainz Barcenas. Joseph Mario Salazar. Katrina Janice Salazar. Kevin James Saldana. Yusuf Ayman Saleh. Receiving the Northside Counselors Association Scholarship, Steffi Sam. Isaac James Sampson, Jr. Andrew Mark Jose Sanchez Brito. Brenda Sanchez Resendez. Jordan Anthony Sanchez. Jose Luis Sanchez III. Victoria Sanchez. Camila Sildain Sandoval Chapa. Kira Jade Sandys. Aspel Sofia Sangronis Campos. Valeria Sofia Sangronis Campos. Receiving the Provost Scholarship, Zumida Araceli Santana. Christian Andres Santibanez. Jordan Monique Santomango. Christopher Neil Sardinia. Harris Moassam Sarfares. Asher Thomas Savell. Kayla Madison Sales. Joshua Michael Schick. Andrew Eric Schneider. Britton Cambria Shreggy. Adil Shahid. Receiving the Academic Excellence Award, Muhammad Sharjil Shahid. Receiving the Presidential Academic Scholarship, Isabella Scott Shannon. Receiving the Founders Academic Achievement Scholarship, Perrin DeLee Shell. Receiving the NCAA Division I Men's Baseball Athletic Scholarship, Anthony Carlos Silva. Ana Belki Silvestre. Receiving the Greensburg Dean's Award, Jasmine Angelina Singh. Receiving the National Recognition Scholar Award, William Kenneth Scare IV. Aaliyah Marie Smith. Receiving the NJCAA Division I Women's Basketball Athletic Scholarship, Deanesty Janelle Smith. Jaden Lee Smith. Kennedy Grace Smith. Savannah Noel Snellings. Jesus Magdiel Solis Perez. Receiving the Provost Scholarship, Sebastian Sidney Soria. Joshua Emmanuel Sosa. Wendy Michelle Sosa. Alexandra Isabella Soto. Receiving the Men's Diving Athletic Scholarship, Division I, Lane Michael Stallworth. Corbin Thomas Starnes. Micah Elijah Steele. Avery Nicole Stevens. Joe Marquez Lazuente Carrie Stevens. D'Angelo Cornelis Strahan. Christopher Strickland Jr., Nikki Elizabeth Strombo, Jericho Angel Swank, Tristan Key Taditon. Receiving the Clark, Texas Athletic Booster Club Scholarship, Martina Isabel Tanwatko. Madison Leanne Bustamante. Receiving the National Hispanic Merit Scholars Award, Lauren Rebecca Taylor. McKenna Page Taylor. Jaden Tyler Tebbets. Receiving the NGCAA Division I Women's Volleyball Athletic Scholarship, Riley Elizabeth Teskey. Hannah Marie Thompson. Trevor Daniel Thompson. Receiving the Trinity Tiger Award, William Parr Thorpe III. Genesis Page Theodina. Dylan Adrian Tinoco. Romando Tobias. Tessa Faye Tollett. Receiving the NCAA Division I Women's Soccer Athletic Scholarship, Taylor Laurel Tomac. Rosalie Joelle Torres. Nico Renee Trevino. Ann Nyup Trong. Receiving the University Scholarship, Francisco Xavier Thurubiate Jr. Madalena Raquel Uresti. Receiving the Verto Bears Scholarship, Renee Rafael Uresti. Erin Faith Uri. Victoria Eustolia Valdez. Joaquin Andres Valdovinos. Ashton Zane Valencia. Receiving the Academic Excellence Scholarship Award, Soraya Marley Van Sant. Jeremiah Miguel Vasquez. Receiving the NJCAA Division I Men's Baseball Athletic Scholarship, Joshua Paul Vaughn. Stella Marie Villanes. Isaac Allen Vigil. Receiving the Academic Excellence Award, Joaquin Hernan Amadeo Villanueva. Alejandro Villarreal. Joseph Andrew Villarreal. Madeline Villatoro Moreno. Paula Villegas. Devin Tan Vo. Receiving the Provost Scholarship, Ahan Sain Vora. Xavier LaShawn Washington. Logan Douglas Whipple. Christopher Joseph White Chauveray. Carson Robert White. Receiving the Our Lady of the Lake University Men's Basketball Athletic Scholarship, Jacoby White. Kendall Alicia Army White. Ariana Sky Williams. Receiving the Academic Excellence Award, Kaylee Alexis Williams. Joelle Wilson. Sophia Avery Wilson. Kennedy Grace Yarborough. Alyssa Star Ibarra. Jalen Justine Ibarra. Kareem Zabin. Receiving the Rhodes Award, Sophia June Zamora. Receiving the Dean's Scholarship, Eleni Zapata. Priscilla Nicole Savala. Antoine Isaiah Howard. Rodrigo Gutierrez Gonzalez. Jacob Matthew Hesita, receiving the Baylor College of Medicine Scholarship.
We're good. You can leave them.
Okay.
We'll get them.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Hesita. I am your senior class president. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you. I know it has been difficult these past few years, but we really persevered together. So here we are. We finally made it. As we reflect on our growth from freshman year, we'll notice a couple things. First, we are so much more attractive now, especially with these flattering gowns. Second, we are not nearly as cringy as we used to be. And third, we are a lot wiser. After I was told I needed to prepare a speech for graduation, I did what every other scholarly, responsible high school student would do. So I watched some Netflix, then I scrolled through Instagram, then I took a nap. And finally, at 12 midnight, when I was most awake, I wrote this speech. Throughout high school, we did a lot of writing, but we didn't do so without some help. Our saving grace, our knight in shining armor, if you will, was the peer-reviewed, teacher-approved literary triangle of Spark Notes, Cliff Notes, and of course, lit charts. As I struggled to figure out what I would say, these invaluable resources we relied on were of no help. But I had something better. Our 4 swift years of miserable and magical, oh yeah, high school memories. Hashtag Taylor Swift 22, hashtag embracing my cringe. At Clark, our lives revolved around a bell. That bell told us when school began, when to switch classes, and when school ended. But during the spring of our sophomore year, that bell was silenced. From a Gen Z perspective, you can say COVID put our lives on do not disturb mode. But as we all know, our lives and we are most productive when our phones are on do not disturb. During online learning, we each experienced solitude. The voices of our friends and teachers softened, but the sound of our own voices amplified. As we sat alone in front of a screen with our cameras off, the silence we experienced made us reflect on who we really are. At home, you no longer had to put on makeup or dress to impress others. Without the pressures of conformity and the stares of judgment, you could just be you. But in a world of heart emojis and like buttons, we don't always know how to be ourselves. After being conditioned to see social media as our Bible of what's attractive and what's not, or of what's normal and what isn't, it's hard and scary to become who we really are. In order to become who we truly are, we have to love ourselves. Loving ourselves means being patient with our insecurities and not obsessing over our progress. It means being kind to ourselves and not envying what other people have. As contemporary philosopher John Legend once said, it means loving all your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. In his song, All of Me, he paints a picture of the reality of relationships with brutal honesty as he sings that eternal happiness is rooted in acceptance of your lover's identity. We think of relationships as something we have with others so much that we forget to nurture the relationship we have with ourselves. I know it might sound selfish, but you know the saying, put your oxygen mask on first. By ensuring your own stability first, it gives us the opportunity to help those around us. If we can learn to love ourselves, we can free ourselves from the stress of self-doubt. Love is liberating. As you get comfortable in your own skin, you will realize that there's only one you. Everyone has a unique story, so don't be afraid to share it, because a story told truly is a story told perfectly. You share your story by living as yourself without fear. As you do this, others will notice and may be inspired to do the same. But please keep in mind, as we go through different chapters of our lives, the meaning of our story evolves. Our goals and identity right now will not be the same as what they will be in 5, 10, or 15 years. So embrace the discomfort of mystery, fall in love with the journey of life. It may feel long and grueling in the moment, but it will feel short in retrospect. Remember, it was just yesterday that we had our first day of high school. As we go through life, do not be consumed by ambition at the detriment of your relationships. We cannot forget our family, friends, and teachers who have been there to support us. It's easy for us to overlook the help we received and take all credit for our admirable achievements. So tame any arrogance that you may have, but maintain confidence in your greatness. Live with a grateful heart and cherish every moment you have with your family and friends, because we never know when our alarm clock to leave this world will go off. As we save our time with loved ones, never forget those who left us too soon, such as Emily Zaltzman, who was a friend to many of us, my cousin Reese Termilo, who is dearly missed, Master Sergeant Mendez, whose smile we will always remember, the victims of the Uvalde shooting who are in our thoughts and prayers, and the many others who departed us prematurely. We will encounter inevitable sorrows and difficulties, so make sure to never take life for granted because it is fleeting. Today, we celebrate our graduation from compulsory education and our commencement into a new chapter of our lives. Whether you are joining the military, entering the workforce, going to college, or are still figuring things out, I encourage you to be the best version of yourself and write your own narrative. While singing is obviously not in my narrative, it is in that of our very own talented choir members. At this moment, please rise for the singing of the Clark Alma Mater.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
We pledge to thee our loyalty forever, Tom Clark High, and to your name we'll gladly be the guardians of your pride. The foundations of our future is formed within your halls, and will remain in
Thank you, choir, for that wonderful performance. Congratulations, class of 2022. As a symbol of our completion of high school, please join me in the turning of the tassel.